to do a full NFC tag keychain tutorial. I want to start with using the trace feature in in Adobe. So I've imported my logo here. It is a JPEG. A lot of times you're either going to be working with something that you may not have in a good vector format. So we're going to start with this and we're going to trace it. You can find your trace window in a number of different places, but we'll open up our image trace here. We're going to change this to color and we're going to trace. One of the things that threw me off the first time I did this was thinking that should be it. Once you've traced, you actually need to come back over here to your object image trace and expand it. Then we're going to ungroup because it usually does a box around. So we're going to delete that box. And now we've got our image traced and it's in a great vector format that we can now laser cut. Now we've got our logo, but we also need to make our keychain. So we're going to make a rectangle or a square or a circle. I'm going to go with a circle. I'm going to change this fill to transparent so I can see better. The other thing about Adobe that always threw me off for the longest time was always having to come back over to your arrow tool. So I am also going to change the color of this because I like to see everything. I'm a very visual person. So we've got our circle. We're also going to need another circle here for our keychain thingy. Now Crystal recommends that we go with a 0.09 inch circle. So that's what we're going to go with here. That looks a little bit small, but it's likely because this is all a little bit big. So I'm going to shrink this down to about 3 by 3. Oh. I use the edit undo tool often. We didn't get everything in there. So 3 by 3, which is a good size for a keychain. We're going to move this in. Now the other thing that I like to do is center everything up. The best way to do this is we're going to group all of our logo together. Perfect. Now I'm going to use the Pathfinder. No, losing my mind today. Where are you? Align. So we're going to center that up. And I'm probably going to push this up just a smidge more. There we go. And then once again, I'm going to align and make sure everything's centered. Now, one thing that I like to do, this is not a necessity, but I'm going to come down here and I'm going to turn this into a compound path. What that means is that this is now together. So this circle is within this bigger circle. We can cut that part. All right. So now I'm going to also center the logo up. And as you can see, I missed a few pieces when I was grouping them all together. And the reason you want to group it, of course, is because otherwise all of that is going to not center. So we're going to center and center again. Perfect. Now, because we're going to be lasering this, we want this to be a different color. So I'm going to stick with pink, but some people prefer red, some people prefer blue. Doesn't really matter. But now our file is done. So when we go into our laser and light burn, we're going to cut all of this out, and then we're also going to cut just a single round out without the logo in it. And we will get to that in just a second.
So what we're going to do here is create what I'm going to call the top of the keychain. So we're doing 2 layers. The first layer here is going to be our top layer, which is going to have our circle round and then the logo cut out of it. This is going to be in white, and then we're also going to do the bottom part in white, which is going to be just the full circle as well. Now I'm cutting just the CMB logo out. in the teal that we're going to use in the center of the keychain here. One thing we are not going to be concerned about with this particular project is going to be kerf. Since everything's going to be adhered down, it's not something that we're going to focus on. So we're going to speed up this process a little bit in putting it together. But I think the one thing that I want to point out for you all that's really important is that you need to make sure that if you're using a double-sided tape, that you apply the adhesive and the double-sided to the top layer of the acrylic and not the bottom. If you apply it to the bottom, then apply the NFC sticker on top of it. The logo or centerpiece will not stick very well. So the biggest thing when you're working on this is making sure that you apply your adhesive to the top piece and then stick it onto the back of the bottom or to the bottom. Using the NFC Tools app is pretty simple. So you're going to go to Write, you're going to add a record, you're going to go to enter what type of record. Here we're doing a URL, so we're going to go to www.custommadebetter.com, and then you're going to click the orange OK in the top right corner. And then when you're ready, you're going to click Write, and then you're going to scan your keychain, and once it's ready, it will let you know that it has been scanned. Sometimes it might take a bit of a minute. And there you go. Your NFC keychain is written and ready to go.